Hey guys, Mr. Blonde here. I wanted to share a clip that shows just how much information Faker is able to gain in such a short amount of time. Setting aside all the amazing plays he's done in the past, I think this clip truly showcases just how godlike Faker is. So let's watch this clip and see if you can follow along with all the intel Faker is gaining.
큐가 왜 저기로 가고 저만은 왜 안 걸렸냐?
Did you catch that? Probably not because it's so much information, so let's break it down. We start off with Faker Wing the minion wave, and our first jump happens here. Faker gets intel that Hecarim is about 50 units away from the friendly base gate here, and then he jumps back to make sure the top minion wave is in the typical V formation to crash into the enemy wave. Then not even a second later, back to Hecarim again. Here he gets intel that Hecarim is now roughly 100 units past the friendly base gate, and then he brings the camera right back to himself. Then back to Hecarim, and then to himself. And then one last jump to Hecarim before checking out the scoreboard to find Lucian's name, who's been feeding all game, so he can block him afterwards. And then sidetrack to Varus to see that he indeed does have red buff. Then shortly after to Renekton, seeing he just killed the 2 medium Krugs and is headed back to lane. And finally back to Hecarim to see that he's moved roughly 1,340 units from the friendly base gate, which puts him at exactly 370 movement speed. Which he then follows up and confirms this by looking at the scoreboard to see that Hecarim does indeed have boots of speed. Now with all of that info in mind, let's take a look at the first part again to show just how quickly he gathered all of this intel. During that 5 seconds, Faker has confirmed that Varus has red, Renekton gained 42 gold from killing the Krugs, and just to keep his machine mind oiled, calculated Hecarim's movement speed to be 370 by only using time and distance. Now during this next part, we hear Faker say,
큐가 왜 저기로 가고 저만은 왜 안 걸렸냐?
which translates to, I am a fucking legend. I'm getting so much intel right now, it's so easy, this game is easy. And right after, he stares into the souls of his viewers, inserting his
alpha dominance into the lead community.
Moving on to the rest of the clip, Faker pans down to see the perimeter of the pink ward in the river bush, checks back in on Hecarim to see he only has to do 2,082 more damage to kill the red golem, which he calculates will take exactly 5 seconds based on his items. Which we then see Faker might have malfunctioned as he turns his head and seemingly shuts down for a split second, before quickly rebooting and coming back online, which is most likely to clear his cache for this next part right here. He is simultaneously checking all of the items on every champion, as well as all of the positions for his teammates and their trajectories in the background as they're moving across the map. And now finally, let's take a look at the whole clip again and keep in mind all of the information you just learned.
큐가 왜 저기로 가고 저만은 왜 안 걸렸냐?
This level of awareness and precise calculations is exactly what makes Faker the greatest League of Legends player to ever have existed. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, great. If you didn't, great. Also, stop flaming me for picking Teemo support. His blind is OP for 2v2s down in the bot lane, and if you're never gonna gank my lane, then me stealing your red is, well that's a fair trade.